I'm an American fighting man. A walk-on part in the war. A lead role in a cage. Your heroes for ghosts. Siete. No, I'm not gonna act like I had it as hard as some of these people did. A lot of these people, they were in the depths of Vietnam, were into some serious shit, man. And it can screw you up. But, I had a pretty good time. I had a walk-on part in the war. I got pictures of dead people, like in that movie Jarhead, where they tell that guy, that Marine that's taking a picture of bodies, he said, "Ha! Cut that out. Pictures are for the Army." I said, yeah, I got some great pictures. And, yeah. But the thing we have to take into consideration too is I think of myself as a trained killer with no regard for human life. It's, I don't think it would have hurt my feelings too much to have really been in the shit like they were. Like in whatever the hell it was, Casualties War. Is that the one with Michael J. Fox? Yeah, fucking no problem. And the problem is that here my dad talked about when they started bombing, Baghdad, like January 16th, January 17th, whichever part of the world you were in. It was the 17th for us, but they like to say the 16th in the U.S. They talk about it that way. Why? Because that's when it was there. We were already in the next day at 2:30 in the morning when they woke us up and said, turned on the lights and said, because we were in some palace in Thamama, down by Riyadh, getting ready to fly up to the borders and roll in, and we started bombing Baghdad, Navy Tomahawk missiles, and we all said, "Shut the fuck up, turn the light off." None of us cared. We're sleeping. Don't wake me up when we're sleeping. I was having good dreams. I was smelling pizza and cocoa butter, sitting by the pool, and but my dad says at that time he was in the fish shanty, listened to it on the radio all the time. He had his radio, transistor radio, in the fish shanty, sitting and killing pike, spearing pike through the hole, watch him come in. And he said when they said that, he was like, ah. He was so worried about me. He said, "You stupid bastards." He thought they were going to get his boy killed. And all the while I was over there, I was looking at the sky, the beautiful sky at night. And I could read in the night. There were so many stars. I could read in the night and write letters, no lights, when we were out in the dark, and I had a pretty good time over there. Sergeant Marlack and meet, Shane Dunn, all these people that I was around, the Major Temple, good man. I had a very good time over there. Never once did I shake and need a beer. I'm a different kind of alcoholic. I drink it when I can have it. And if I can have it, I'm gonna have it. I like beer. And so it was just like that Montaigne guy, or Montaigne, or whoever it is, there's some old philosopher writing. I don't know how it's pronounced. Montaigne, Montaigne. I just read these things. They don't have phonetic alphabets on the cover, and most times I'm not talking to anybody that knows anything about what the hell I'm talking about. I just come across things and I read them and I put things together and I enjoy this. But he said that the people who care most about war are the people that aren't there. He said something like that, the soldier doesn't care, just do what you do. It's the people that aren't there that suffer the most. And I try to tell these people, don't worry. I was so worried about it. I'm like, it's your own damn fault. I was having a good time. Had an easy war. But I got to see what it's about. And that's the thing. I talked earlier, it was my field jacket, talked earlier about where is it? The combat patch, right shoulder, states you were in combat. And how most people that talk about war being so awful, they don't have combat patches. Most of them are just bullshitting you. They weren't even there. But I said most of them. Why most? Because I'm one of these people that most of my uniforms, I got back a month and a half before I was ETSing, before the expiration of my term of service. Month and a half. And we needed to have combat patches sewn on. So I had them on a couple of my uniforms. But I wasn't going to pay to get them put on all this stuff. I just didn't care. So some of these people, if you see they don't have a combat patch, they just didn't care enough about it. It's not the biggest deal in the world. The Army. When I was there, it was be all you can be. And Beetle Bailey said, if that's all you can be. And I was like, you're absolutely correct. Hey, there's got to be something more. I wanted to travel, so I got out, and I didn't like anybody fucking holding me down. Tell me when I can leave. I'm ready to go right now. And I was a pain in the ass. I had some sort of authority by the time I got out of there that people just followed me, and Master Sergeant, First Sergeant Doering, the guy, I first met him, he was a Master Sergeant, and he took me around. I was 17, had a good haircut, and he says, he was an intelligence guy, and he's like, I says, I was jumping. That's the first thing he had to say to me. And I was standing there, I'm just a little kid, 17. And he said, I was jumping out of airplanes before you were jumping off the school bus. And I said, oh, Master Sergeant Doering, when did you go to jump school? He said, 1965. And I said, oh, I said, you were jumping out of airplanes before I was even born. And he did not like that. You old fat fuck. Stay in the race, man. Always yelling at everybody, acting like he's dropping back to yell at people who fell out of the run. in the morning during PT, and he's walking back last. Couldn't keep the run. But you just run into these people. They did not like me. I had everybody turn against him. And I walked into the mess hall the one morning, and somebody said, "Hey, Judas, do push-ups." And I said, and I realized that became a thing through the entire unit. People would just yell, "Judas, do push-ups," and they didn't even know where it was coming from. They just knew the line, and it was coming from Top Doering. When he became our first sergeant, when we'd be running, before he fell out of the run, he would always be yelling to me to do push-ups, because I was always saying shit and laughing and giggling. And thank you, First Sergeant, for conditioning my mind and my body. I was very good at push-ups. I could do push-ups all day long. The one day I was going, we didn't even make it to the first corner. It was pitch black outside, and I said something, everybody, and he said, "Judas, do push-ups." And I dropped down. I was going back and forth, arm to arm with him behind my back. I said, "How many in which arm, First Sergeant?" He said, "Both arms." And I said, "Well, that's fucking easy. Do my 20 and get up and fucking run around, grab the guy down, run around the battalion, get it back, get back, keep going." I was good at push-ups, conditioning my mind and my body. They got my mind and body conditioned so strongly that they couldn't fucking touch me. There was one time I was on leave, and I got back from leave, and somebody was laughing. He said, "We were out for a run, and First Sergeant says, 'Judas, do,'" somebody had said something, and he screamed, "Judas, do push-ups." And somebody yelled, "Judas is on leave, First Sergeant." He said, "Do push-ups anyway." He was just so fucking hateful of me. And there one time where there was a guy fell down in a battalion run. One of the guys in the company in front of us fell down. And everybody was scattered and going around him. And I was jumping over him. And I said, "It's chaos. Every man for himself." And he comes, "Judas, do push-ups." I'm doing my push-ups, and I got up, and he's standing there. He says, I think he just wanted to stop running for a while. And he says, I said, "You are a senior specialist in this unit. You start saying shit like this, and these jugheads are gonna believe you." And I was like, ooh, had never crossed my mind. You should have never told me that. And so there I was. I was an individual in that military organization, and they could not stand me. They had my body, but they couldn't get my mind. And that goes all the way back to basic training, to kill drill. So what's the spirit of the bayonet? To kill, drill sergeant, to kill. What's the bayonet need? Blood, drill sergeant, blood. And I'm looking at all the people with the glazed look in their eyes around me as they're doing this with the bayonet. And I remember going, blood, blood, blood. And I'm thinking, this is where they get us. And I think it was because of that moment, looking at the glazed look in people's eyes, and thinking that's where they brainwash you. I think maybe that's why they never did get my mind. And then I got out. Not before poisoning several people that I was leaving behind to carry on my way. But after that, suddenly they said, changed it from be all you can be to an army of one. I was like, you fucking people, you are lying to them. I was an individual, I was an army of one, and you didn't like it. Not one bit.